Coming up on Transformers University, Sixshot and Daniel go on an adventure. We'll make some new friends on the planet Master, and we'll learn all about Japanese puns right now on Transformers University. Hello, my friend, and welcome to episode 139 of Transformers University. I am your host, Anthony Brucali, owner-operator, madman behind TFU.INFO, the website, the toy archive, this podcast, TFU News and Views podcast, and oh, so much more. I want to welcome you to episode 139 of Transformers University. Before we get into what will be 3 of the final 6 episodes of the Headmaster's cartoon, do want to point you over to our Patreon, patreon.com/TFU.INFO, all one word. That's patreon.com/TFU.INFO, to sign up, to join up, to be a part of the fun there. What we've got there right now is a great community of supporters. You get the episodes at least one day early, and I'm working on a couple of things that I'm going to launch very soon to be a little bit more exclusive, a little bit more fun. Plus, there's a whole slew of exclusive podcasts over there. My 7 Figures podcast, and a few others as well, and a bunch of special episodes we've done over the years. So if you haven't checked it out, now's your chance. You can join it for as little as $1. I believe the $3 level is where you get the exclusive podcasts. You can go as high as $10 a month, but it starts at $1. And any support you can send our way keeps this podcast going, keeps the website going, and makes me eternally grateful for your support. Now, with that said, let's jump right into episode number 30 of the Headmasters. Original air date, March 4th, 1988. The original title, The Zarek Shield Turns the Tide, which was also what was included on the Shout Factory DVD. But of course, Omni Productions, as we always do, had this to say.
The brink of death.
So, the brink of death. Here we go. It starts with the Autobots tracking down the stolen secrets of the Master Sword, the ones they lost. And they're trying to figure out their next move. The Decepticons are in deep space, and they are hiding from the Autobots. And a Japanese pun leads to this bizarre exchange.
It's Stardust!
Oh, you scared me, Skull Cruncher!
Hey, so when are we gonna have a drink with the alien, Skull Cruncher? What?
Hey, don't you know what aliens are? They're people from outer space, stupid.
Mm-hmm. What? Aliens? Stardust?
Hey, guys, stop kidding around. Concentrate on your steering.
Okay, so I'm going to read this straight from TF Wiki's trivia section because I feel like this explains it better than any way I could. The whole aliens and space dust thing just doesn't translate into English well. Skullcruncher is confused because the Japanese words for aliens and space dust are homophones. I believe the word is uchujin. And they're differentiated by writing only one character. The show really spells the pun out step by step, actually showing the written words on screen and having the different characters flash. However, in the Omni Productions dub, Mindwave and Weird Wolf totally changed the topic of the conversation to having a drink with some aliens, making fun of Skullcruncher because he doesn't know what aliens are, which is nonsense, as technically, depending on where he is one as well, right? So there you go. Some wacky Japanese punning in this episode. Now, the Decepticons decide to hide below the Stardust and plan to go back to Planet Master and set their course. Back on Battleship Maximus, the Target Masters plan to ask Fortress, aka Cerebros, to send the team back to Planet Master. In a nearby box, Sound Blaster is hiding.
I'm the best spy there is. I'm a master at this game.
So he didn't bother to convert? He's just going to hide in a box? Sounds terrible, but he sends Ratbat to spy. Fortress Maximus and the Target Masters talk, and he gives us this gem.
Oh, I nearly forgot. They've taken our files regarding the secret of Master Sword.
Yes, Fortress. You gave them away last episode. You pretty much handed them over. The Target Masters and Fortress decide Decepticons want G-Metal. Then they discover Ratbat, and he flees to Sound Blaster. Sound Blaster jumps overboard to Planet Master, and the Target Masters follow. The Autobot ship tries to track down the Decepticon base. Now, the Target Masters land on Planet Master and are attacked by the Decepticon Target Masters. They get blasted into a river and carried away. We find out the Decepticons are building a new weapon underground. It looks a lot like the shield that came with the Scorponok toy, as they celebrate their victory over Point Blank and the rest of the Target Masters. Once this weapon is done, they're going to launch a huge attack on the Autobots. So the Target Masters wash ashore and they survive the flood. They fly off but see other Decepticons leaving the base and report this location back. The Decepticon Headmasters, Sixshot, Bruticus are all flying around hoping to draw the Autobots out as they see the Fortress Maximus battleship Maximus, arrive. The battleship follows them, and the Autobots figure out that this is all a distraction. Weirdwolf decides to go back and follow the Autobot ship. The Decepticon Headmasters go as well. And the Target Masters then find footprints that lead into a cave. Underground, Scorponok gloats.
I'm nearly there. The greatest weapon ever is about to take form.
The Headmaster Autobots receive a signal, and they go to find the base. Weirdwolf plants bombs on Battleship Maximus, but he is found by Daniel and Wheelie. Daniel takes out his gun that he's been carrying around and shoots at him until Fortress arrives with another nugget of wisdom.
Daddy! Wheelie!
Are you okay? Are you hurt?
We're all right.
Quickly, get inside now.
But...
Quickly!
Yes, sir.
Weirdwolf flees, but the bombs are set. Now the Headmaster Autobots fall down a deep hole.
Hey, you're squashing me!
And that hole must have been really deep. It took 12 seconds for them to fall in that clip. That was a 12-second clip of them falling. And they find something in the distance. Elsewhere, the Target Masters find Scorponok's body and a lab. They send their partners, the Target Master partners, in to investigate. The Headmaster Autobots also find this lab, but from the other side. But they get caught by the Decepticon Target Masters. The Autobot Target Masters send themselves to the rescue. Scorponok sees all of this and sends out the Duocons into battle. The Target Master partners return from inside the lab to help out. Zarek boards the Scorponok body and extracts his weapon from the lab. Ultimately, he's taking his ball and going home. He flies out of the cave with the Scorponok body through the roof and is fired on outside by an Autobot ship.
It's you, Fortress Maximus.
But then the bombs go off. The Decepticons escape. Fortress Maximus is okay until next time. The end. And so this one's starting to move the plot along. Like I said, we don't have that many more episodes to go. At the end of this one, we have 5 left in the series and 2 more to cover this episode. So we need to wrap things up, and we need to get this story moving. So the Decepticons kind of sort of have the shield for Scorponok. And what we're lining up here is probably some sort of showdown between Scorponok and Fortress Maximus, right? That'll take us to our next episode, episode 31, Operation Destroy the Decepticons, airing originally on March 11th, 1988. The Shout Factory had the same title for their DVD, but of course, Omni Productions has a different name.
The full-scale assault!
Now, outside Battleship Maximus, the Combiners are repairing the ship as the Autobots inside debate their next steps. We see this a lot in the show. They're sitting around debating their next steps at the start of the episode. And Wheelie and Daniel are playing a zapper gun video game. Wheelie is so bad at it, he throws his gun and breaks the screen. The Duck Hunt dog is nowhere to be seen in this scene, by the way. He did not pop up to taunt Wheelie. Wheelie is just that bad of a player. Meanwhile, Chrome Dome provides some wisdom.
Planet Earth is Scorponok's target.
All right, so it's Planet Earth being their next target. The Target Masters point out that Scorponok's shield is a defensive weapon and offer up an idea to divide and conquer the Decepticons. Chrome Dome disagrees. The Decepticons can regroup, but Point Blank has a plan.
We won't allow any of them to get away. No matter what it costs, we have to kill them.
So with this, Fortress sides with Point Blank. So the Headmaster Autobots leave, and Chrome Dome leads them to a deserted stone mine. There, they meet other Autobots who are from the Planet Master. It turns out they're friends of Chrome Dome. This turns out to be Kirk and the others. We'll explain more about that in a little bit. Elsewhere, the Decepticons continue to work. They spot the Target Master spying, attack, and surround the Target Masters. They have a new plan while Brainstorm and Hardhead are going to report on Point Blank's team.
The flying squad have discovered the enemy near the volcano.
I'm afraid the Decepticons have surrounded Point Blank and his men.
Point Blank and his men? So they've been discovered by the enemy.
Shall we go and help them out?
We need all the help we can get right now. We can't send our men to help them. Besides, I expected something like this would happen.
That's what I think.
Point Blank's team is under fire, and the Decepticons see a plane overhead and fire at it. The Target Masters then escape. Now, Chrome Dome team still have a plan. As the Target Masters flee, Sound Blaster follows. The Target Masters turn out to find some sort of resistance force and report it back to Fortress. At the same time, Sound Blaster reports it back to Scorponok. Scorponok wants to attack the city center. The Decepticons attack the city center and do what Decepticons do best in the show. The Target Masters start murdering people. The Headmaster Autobots fight the Headmaster Decepticons. The local jets fight the Decepticons. Lots of them get shot down and killed. The Autobots flee, but Fortress Maximus transforms to fight Scorponok. But Scorponok reveals his shield.
I've won. I've beaten your Master Sword. I'll finish you next time. Now I must hurry to Earth. Come on, man, let's go!
Point Blank stops Chrome Dome from going after the Decepticons.
You listen carefully, Chrome Dome. Because of your recklessness, the city is in ruins, and a lot of lives have been lost. Isn't that enough?
Reckless? No way! My attack was extremely successful!
You still don't understand, do you? Have you considered the people who've died? We failed because of you. You acted on your own, and you didn't consider the whole picture.
Now, during this argument, Point Blank is choking Chrome Dome, which is kind of weird to see. It turns out that Kirk is not dead.
For once, the Autobots have been badly beaten, yet they haven't been scared off. They will continue to fight for peace on Earth. We have seen the power of Scorponok's weapon. Will Fortress Maximus and his forces be able to win in the end?
For once, oh right, there's still no Transformers the movie yet in Japan. And so that's where this story wraps up. Interesting note here is that Kirk, along with 5 other small Headmasters toys, and I believe we talked about them a while back, were exclusive to Japan. Exclusive Headmaster heads that had alt modes that could work with all the toys, and even had incredibly rare all white variants of them available in Japan. So these are this episode's kind of a way to help sell those a little bit, I guess, on the tail end of the 1987 line. Now, we've got one more episode left, and it's a good one. No, I mean, it's a really good one. Find out what it is right after this. Hey, want to help out this podcast or the website TFU.INFO? There's a number of ways you can do it. Let me tell you how. You can help us directly by joining our Patreon and enrolling as a student at Transformers University. There, you'll get early access to the podcast as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes peeks and perks for as little as $1 a month. Sign up is quick and easy. Just swing on by to www.patreon.com/TFU.INFO. Another way you can help us is by using our Amazon link, www.tfu.info/Amazon. Type that into your browser whenever you want to shop at Amazon, and a portion of what you spend will be contributed back to us. It's that easy. Finally, you don't become the world's longest running transforming toy archive without some help from other fans. We're always on the hunt for photos of figures and accessories we're missing from our pages. If you'd like to contribute, go to tfu.info/help for a list of what we need, or send an email to info@tfu.info. tfu.info, the Alpha Trion and Omega Prime of transforming toys. Now, back to the show. And that brings us to the final episode of this episode of Transformers Universe. The last one we're going to talk about, episode number 32 of the Headmasters. Original air date March 18th, 1988, entitled My Friend Sixshot, on both the actual translation and the Shot Factory DVDs, and of course, Omni Productions.
From enemy to friend.
And the narrator's going to kick us off.
Scorponok has led his men from Planet Master to Planet Earth. They are traveling non-stop at high speed so that they can get to Earth as quickly as possible. However, they have some bad luck as they get caught up in a whirlpool of meteorites on the way.
First, non-stop? Where would they stop? Does someone have to go to the bathroom? And second, do meteorites whirlpool? I feel like they shouldn't be doing that. Scorponok doesn't want to go around, so they decide to go through, because if you can't go under it, can't go over it, have to go through it. The Autobots follow and get caught up in the whirlpool. It's kind of like a mosh pit, and so they decide to go around, go closer to the stage by going outside instead. The Decepticons are banging into things all over the ship, and Scorponok and Sixshot begin to argue.
I told you this wouldn't have happened if we'd avoided it. Now look what's going on.
Just shut up. I don't like your attitude at all, Sixshot.
Back on the Autobot ship, Daniel and Wheelie are exploring the weapon systems. And we find out in the Decepticon camp, Sixshot is clearly unhappy. The Autobots find the Decepticon ship, and a firefight ensues. The Decepticon ship gets damaged. But while the firefight is going on, Daniel gets locked in one of the cannon rooms.
Sixshot, go and destroy the enemy's defense system right away.
What, me?
Don't you question my orders. This is a good chance to prove yourself to me. Go on and cover for us quickly.
All right, whatever you say.
The fight continues. Daniel gets tossed around. Space cyclones envelop both ships and Sixshot.
The electric system on the radon cannons is about to explode!
Right, then eject it.
Can't eject the cannons? That's where Daniel is. And in this, Scorponok sees an opening.
Full speed to Earth.
What about Sixshot? He's still out there.
Never mind him. I've always wanted to get rid of him anyway.
Wow, Scorponok's a jerk. Wheelie tells Fortress about Daniel, and the Target Masters go to rescue Daniel with the train bots in tow. Daniel is being carried to the planet below. It's called Planet Dyra in the actual translation. In this series, it's called Planet Pinner. Sixshot's ending up there too, and eventually they both crash, and Sixshot finds Daniel.
Sixshot, it's you!
And your name's Danny, isn't it? Oh, just relax. I'm not interested in killing little boys.
More like only your friends, Daniel. Sixshot walks away, and Daniel is stalked by a rock monster. The monster is shot by Sixshot, and they see a rainbow, and the narrator explains.
The rainbow shield that Danny and Sixshot saw is a transparent shield which is reflected as a beam.
The stone men have done this.
The Autobots follow this whirlpool down to Planet Dyra. Danny and Sixshot decide to have lunch, and Daniel tries to break Sixshot's gruff exterior. Then the Stone Men, they decide to come back and attack. Daniel shoots one in the face, and the Autobots in space face a little bit more weird science.
At the same time, the Autobots are having a difficult time of it, as they're experiencing a space hurricane. This is an extremely dangerous phenomenon in deep space, which could mean death for them.
Space hurricane?
Here I am!
Daniel and Sixshot sneak into the Stone Men's base. The Stone Men turn out are burning detritus for food to feed the planet. At least that's in the Omni version. In the translation, apparently the planet and the Stone Men are one and the same, and this is how it eats. The planet is actually a living creature, and the Stone Men are a part of it. Fortress Maximus and company are then sucked into the center of the hurricane. But Sixshot on the planet has a great idea.
We must destroy this planet before we can escape from the Rainbow's shield.
You want to destroy this planet?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, why not? You know, one more planet in this series, and we get a free footlong at Subway. And then Sixshot and Daniel bond like an old married couple by having what seems like one conversation, but is actually two distinctly unrelated conversations where neither person is listening to the other.
Listen, if they don't rescue us, then we'll have to think of a way to get out of here, right, Danny? Now pull yourself together. We have to remain calm. At times like this, we must be strong. I am from the Decepticons, and you from the Autobots. Is it really fate that enemies have ended up together? What a joke this is.
What's so funny?
Well, I don't know. But I get this feeling like I've known you for a long time. It's really incredible, isn't it, little boy?
I feel the same as well.
You do? You're the first of your kind to make friends with me. I'm honored. Thank you, Danny. You know something, Danny? You're very kind, and I feel really good talking to you. You know that?
After listening to what you said, I feel much better.
Well, that's wonderful. You don't have to worry. I can promise you this: as soon as we leave here, I'll take you back to Earth.
Thanks a lot.
Daniel and Sixshot are surrounded by stone men. Sixshot fights them all. Daniel shoots one more in the face, but is then captured. Sixshot saves him before the stone men can throw him in the fire. The Autobots blast through the hurricane and finally get to Dyra. The stone men combine to form a giant stone man. Sixshot fights it and rescues Daniel multiple times and has some good advice.
Danny, hide over there for a while.
Okay.
Now, as Sixshot is fighting these stone monsters, he's about to lose. And then Daniel shoots it in the face. And then Sixshot notices something.
We found their weak spot.
Shooting it in the face has been the key all along. Sixshot turns into his winged cat mode and flies through its face, killing the monster. The Autobots arrive, and 311, they're ready to fight. But Daniel vouches for Sixshot.
Now Danny's safe and sound. I'll leave him with you.
Please don't be like that.
Chrome Dome and Sixshot square up, but Daniel pleads with Chrome Dome, and Sixshot sees an opportunity.
Goodbye now.
Transform!
Sixshot! Sixshot, don't go!
The Autobots then decide to continue their journey, and Daniel questions the nature of war. At the Target Masters, they have some news.
Commander, the Decepticon spaceship has arrived in the solar system.
Solar system? That's where I keep all of my stuff. Target Masters continue to eye the Decepticons, and Fortress vows to protect Earth.
The final and ultimate battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons is getting closer all the time.
And that wraps up the episode. I really find this one to be a really great episode. I mean, as far as all the ones we've watched, now 32 episodes into the series, this might be my favorite one. There's so much character development between Sixshot not changing sides, but realizing his cause isn't right. Daniel kind of maturing, the cool-ass rock monsters that get shot in the face. And then this final scene where Chrome Dome and Sixshot have to square off, and Chrome Dome has to back down against the person he wants revenge on most. In particular, because Sixshot killed Ultra Magnus. He's generally been a thorn in the Autobot side this entire time. He has not consulted them on anything ninja related, not once. And it's just overall just a really, really good episode, especially within this series of things, of things really not happening now. It's kind of a filler episode, nothing of import really happens on the planet. It doesn't push the plot forward all that much, except having Sixshot leave the Decepticons. But it does set us up for the final 3 episodes. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in those, but knowing that there are 3 episodes left, we need to have some sort of setup for whatever's to come. And so this is a nice diversion. It's a nice self-encapsulated story. And it does have a bit of a legacy, no pun intended, as the current Legacy United toy line has rock monsters called the Infernac Universe. It's kind of the gimmick in this current line in 2024 that is somewhat inspired by GoBot's Rock Lords, but also somewhat inspired by this particular episode. It was even stated as such when they revealed it on the Hasbro Pulse live stream. So a pretty cool episode, pretty important in terms of long-term kind of things, little bits and pieces here, Easter eggs, I guess. And definitely one, if you're going to, I can narrow down which episodes so far out of the 32 you need to watch, and this is definitely up there. So yeah, if you haven't watched along, if you haven't checked out one of the episodes, if you're just listening to my takes on it, go and find this one, My Friend Sixshot. It is one of the arguably really good, just for being really good, and the dub is bad enough to make the dub enjoyable too. So from both fronts, it really does work. Now, that'll wrap up these 3 episodes for this edition of Transformers University, but still got more coming up. Want to find out what's going to come on next episode? Stick around. Thanks for listening to the show. Stick around to hear what's coming up next episode, but first, I want to fill you in on a few ways you can stay in touch with the show. Want to be on the show? Leave us a voicemail at 702-763-4838. That's 702-POD-4TFU. Or send an email to info@TFU.info. Be sure to catch us on Twitter at TFU_info and on Facebook and Instagram under the username TFU.INFO, all one word. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TFU.INFO, where we post all of our podcasts plus special video segments, reviews, and live coverage of Transformers-related events such as New York Toy Fair and New York Comic Con. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please visit us at www.tfu.info, the world's longest-running transforming toy archive. Next time on the program, we're going to do one of your favorite things. I know this is one of your favorite things because I know what the download numbers look like for these kinds of episodes, and they're always a touch higher than everything else. We're going to go back to the toy line, talking 1988, North America, U.S. Hasbro-released Transformers, Decepticons only. We're going to touch on everything from Pretenders to Power Masters, and what made the Decepticon toy line unique and different, especially compared to the other side of the coin in 1988. So until then, please do check us out on social media, on Twitter at TFU_info. Just about everywhere else is TFU.INFO, all one word. Of course, the website, the Toy Archive, on the web at www.tfu.info. And as I mentioned earlier, please do check out the Patreon, patreon.com/TFU.info. Love to have you aboard, even for just a month. So until next time, I am your host, Anthony Brucali, owner, operator, madman behind TFU.info. See ya. Back on Battleship Master, back on Battleship Maximus, the transmetals. Wow, let's do that again. 3, 2. Back on Planet. One more time. 3, 2. Back on Battleship Maximus, the transmetals. No. 3, 2. You get this. Sixshot fights it. 3, 2. 3, 2. Sixshot fights it. The Autobots arrive, and 3, 2. 3.